Alright, so the first time you read that first passage, how weird was that? Did you expect that to happen with Elisha? Mouth to mouth, hand to hand, and then he had to do that 3 times after walking around the room? Isn't that just the weirdest story ever? Just a quick aside, whenever I read it, I sort of like snicker inside because it's really funny. He's like mouth to mouth, nose to nose, palm to palm, and then he had to lay prostrate on this boy. Elisha was probably an old dude, so it was probably like really, really awkward for like the family. He's stretching out on a dead dude, and he's like mouth to mouth, and then he's got to walk around the room and then do it again. It was probably weird for even Elisha, I imagine. And that's just, and I'm going to tell you, that's for a purpose. And we see that purpose being completed in Luke, about why that had to happen that way. I know it's really, really weird, and some of these Old Testament things are really, really weird, but then we meet their antidote in Jesus Christ. So one of the greatest mistakes we make when reading the Bible is that we treat geography like a filler. We read, Jesus went to a town called Nain, and we think, oh, wonderful, a town. Well, thank you, Luke. Very scenic. Can we get to the miracle part now? Or we just skip past it and go, okay, just another word I'll forget in 2 seconds that's difficult to pronounce. But the Bible doesn't give us names and places because ancient writers had a strange affection for cartography or for, saying that putting in the name of their hometown so everybody would feel included. The Holy Spirit is not trying to fill space like a student trying to put in the last bit of parenthetical quotations or trying to reach to meet the word limit on his paper, which happens a lot, by the way. As a teacher, you can tell when a student's just trying to fill space. It's just all garbage, filler. It's really, really bad. But no, place matters. This is in here for a reason. The map is preaching. The geography is preaching. Luke says Jesus goes to Nain. Nain was on the very slopes of a mountain, which is more like a hill because, like I said, they like to exaggerate over in Israel. They'll say, oh, look at this great mountain. And it's like, just like a little hill. Or like the Sea of Galilee is like a large lake. It's not really like we would consider a sea. The Great Lakes are bigger than the Sea of Galilee, for context, much bigger. Luke says Jesus goes to Nain. Nain is on the slopes of Mount Moreh. And on the very same mount, a mile away, was the old ruins of Shunem. It was actually a little bit less than a mile away, probably. Was Shunem, where we see this story in Elisha. Isn't that cool? And Shunem was where Elisha, the great prophet of Israel, once raised a woman's son from the dead. So when Jesus raises this widow's son at Nain, Luke is not merely telling us that Jesus did something compassionate. He's telling us that Jesus walked into a memory of ancient Israel. John the Baptist was regarded as the second Elisha, but this identity is surpassed by Jesus, who truly is the second Elisha, walking into the same place where Elisha raised a boy from the dead and doing the same in a totally different but greater way. And I hope by the end of this you'll come to see that this isn't just some random miracle in a random village in the middle of nowhere, but this miracle happened at this place